Hello there, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to go on to something different from the most serious things I've done with the human condition. Now I'm going to talk about The Lonely Island, which is a band that was created by Andy Sandberg, Akiva Schaffer and Jorma Tornberg, or Tarako or whatever, I can't remember his surname. They started off as a little group together, making these music videos, these humorous videos. Then Sandberg got into Saturday Night Live, and the other two came on as writers, and they ended up making these videos for Saturday Night Live that would end up being shown on the show and were very popular and were digital shorts. They were like, the first big one was Lazy Sunday, which came up, which was shown one time, suddenly went online and became a massive sensation online. So they became known as the Lonely Island. Lonely Island became well known for these videos, and they started making more and more for the show. So they end up doing really funny ones like I Just Had Sex, Dick in a Box, you know, a variety of YOLO, just Mother Lover and stuff like that. Just a bunch of funny songs that tweaked what you expect from a song, and so they started normal and end up going on to these really weird tangents, very specific and odd, and there were all these comedy ones like someone like a boss for a guy who's spinning out of control but saying he's doing it like a boss, throwing the ground with this hipster throwing gifts away. You know, there's one, they did one where this guy who's on cocaine is having a terrific day even though he's oblivious to all hell breaking loose around about him. So they're all funny little videos, and they made them for a very long time for Saturday Night Live, as long as Sandberg was with the show. During that time they started to make films as well. So I'm going to talk about the two films they made as a group. There's also two films that two of the members made as directors running at the same time. So the first one they made as a group is Hot Rod. Hot Rod is from about 2007-2008, stars Sandberg. It was based on a script that was written for Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell never did it. It went to the Lonely Island. They were given it, they were allowed to rewrite it to suit their own stylizations. And they made a nice little film. It's one of those films, it's not going to be anyone's favourite film, but it is a funny film, and it is a nice little eccentric film that's nice to put on every so often. You know, because it takes a very standard story of a young kid or a overgrown kid who's trying to, a young adult who's trying to make good on their obsession that everyone else thinks is stupid. It's that kind of convention. Now, a lot of sports movies it's taken seriously, and this one is not taken seriously. This one is obviously he needs to grow up. Like it's so Sandberg plays this guy Rod who's got this bike and he tries to do these bike stunts that always fail. Because he's got a bike that has to pedal and he never got any speed going, so he can't do anything. So there's a bunch of gags where he tries these crazy stunts, and they advertise them, and his little brother, lots of his stepbrother films them, and it's these stunts that just go wrong. Because his father died when he was very young, his mother remarried, and his stepfather was played by Ian McShane, who's a tough guy who's always seeming to bully him to be better than he is, and Sandberg's character don't do that. He wants to do his dream to be like his father, and then the stepbrother is a bit younger, but these are two people who are obviously, they're played by Sandberg and drummer Tyrone, or Torokan or whatever you call, and they are obviously adults playing younger people, and that's part of the joke. They're all these, Bill Hader plays another character, Danny McBride plays another character. They're all actors playing characters younger than them, and they're over-emoting, and that's part of the joke. You know, it's like, they know that you know that they're too old for these parts, but they're stylising it as a way of just showing that these people are just should have grown out of these obsessions and they haven't, and they're just obsessed and weird. And it's wonderful. It's just it's all about character stuff rather than the plot. The plot basically is Sandberg has to do this massive jump to make money to get his stepfather operation, and he wants his stepfather operation to save his life, only so that Sandberg can then have a real fight with him and beat him up. That's the plot. Sandberg's ex-girlfriend, not ex-girlfriend, the girl next door he always fancied comes back to the area, and she always liked him. She's got a boyfriend who's played by the guy Will Arnett, and he plays him as a total douche, as Will Arnett only can. And it's a parody of all those, the girlfriend who has a annoying boyfriend type of thing, and they just play it up and make him so obnoxious and so wrong. And Isla Fisher plays the girl, and she's a bit nuts as well. So everything works out really well, and the whole thing is, it's all about gags that just go much further than you expect. Like when Sandberg falls down a hill, he doesn't just fall down a little hill, he falls down a hill almost from the top of a mountain all the way down, bang, 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 bang. And the excess of it just keeps it going. The fact that there's all these elaborate jumps that you know are going to fail, and it's just waiting to see how it fails. And sometimes it feels in an interesting way, sometimes it feels in the most pathetic way, which makes it even funnier. And he's just so oblivious to his failings. And when his stepbrother puts a video together of all his, you know, all the things he's done, it makes it a tribute, but everyone laughs at it because they think it's so silly. You know, that deflates him for a bit, then it bounces back and he does the thing he needs to do. And it's not a film with the plot, it's a film about all these weird characters and all the weird things. There's a local radio station who funds the big jump to try and get new listeners because they're going out of business. And the guy who runs that's played by Chris Parnell, and he's obsessively hating FM radio because he's an AM guy all the way. There's all these weird things. Sissy SpaceX plays the Sandberg's mother, and she's this oblivious hippie. McShane has a lot of fun playing the stepfather, who is just horrible to Sandberg, but Sandberg deserved it the whole way through because he's an idiot. So it's really funny. I mean, the payoffs are great, the atmosphere of the film's great. The thing is, the atmosphere's fun. It's enjoyable spending time with these characters and watching them do the silly things. That's what's enjoyable about it. And how oblivious they are to life and what people mean when they say anything to them. It's just a really enjoyable film. It's very much like The Lonely Island, where they've got people who are just in their own world and misread things. So it was a really nice debut. It made no money. So they continued doing stuff at SNL, and they started to make films outside of that. Land of the Lost had Jorma Taccone or whatever as one of the actors. Then he went on and did a film, MacGruber, with Will Forte, which is the next film we talk about, which is not a Lonely Island film, but it's a really funny film. It's about the SNL character MacGruber, who's a takeoff of MacGyver, basically a guy who can do all these weird things with almost nothing. It's sort of like the A-Team with the one-man band, where they can take any object and turn it into a bomb or something like that, and they can rip at people's throats with a bare hand. And it's just really silly. And like Hot Rod, it's about taking the conventions of a normal film and taking it all the way up to the absurd level, and then have a character be very oblivious to how stupid he is. So in this one, Will Forte is MacGruber, doesn't know how to fire a gun, but he can do all these weird things with household objects. He's obnoxious, he's really into the 80s. His first wife was killed by Val Kilmer's Van Kunt villain. He has a mobile radio station always tuned to the 80s, so you can put in any car he has, you just put this thing in and listen to the 80s. he starts off in a Buddhist temple trying to find himself, a la Rambo. It's just silly, it's just really silly. Val Kilmer's a lot of fun hamming it up as the villain who likes to paint middle-aged women in the nude and create these weird expressionist artwork. He shoots henchmen who fail him, and the brains fly onto some canvas to be a new piece of art for him. MacGruber brings together his old team and then accidentally blows them all up. But he has two people with him throughout the movie, which is Ryan Phillippe as the straight man, the guy who's the new guy who doesn't know MacGruber's ways and who's been sent to work with him, and Kristen Wiig as the best friend of MacGruber's deceased wife, who MacGruber is also in love with, and she's in love with him. She's into 80s music as well, and all this kind of, or more 70s kind of synth stuff and ABBA-ish things. So she's into music too, and they're obviously made for each other. And she keeps on getting, because she's a very quiet character, MacGruber keeps on putting them into these absurd situations, absurd costumes, just to, you know, because only she can do it, and she's just not through it at all. So MacGruber's an idiot. All the characters around him are idiots, apart from Ryan Phillippe, really. And it's just funny, it's just a send-up of action movies. And it's just enjoyable. That's all it is. It's just a really funny, silly thing. Like, all the conventions are sent up. They're all, you know, wickedly done. They take something that's taken seriously in the 80s movies and takes it up a notch or two just to be really absurd. Something that was already absurd in the seemingly most serious movies is taken to the nth degree to be really stupid. Like MacGruber can't fire a gun when it's just aim and shoot. MacGruber's idea of fashion is insane. Like, he's so nuts, he actually buries his own costume. So he has to go to his own grave where because he's faked his death. He opens a grave and he takes out his costumes in the grave so he can put his costume back on. You know, stuff like that. It's just absurd, really silly. Highly recommended. Go see it. Akiva Schiffer then did The Watch at the same time, which is a film, it's a comedy, Ben Stiller, Vince Vaughn. It's okay. It's enjoyable. It's about a neighbourhood watch run by these people who are all kind of looking for something to do with their time, and they find that there's aliens in the neighbourhood and they have to try and work out who the aliens are and what they want, and it's enjoyable silliness. I mean, it's not as good as MacGruber or Hot Rod or what I'm going to talk about next, but it's enjoyable. It was hated on release. It was just slammed as a lazy comedy. Back when I enjoyed it, when I saw it, it had been slammed so badly that you could just, we watched it just as itself without any expectations. Like, this is fun. It's not amazing, but it's not bad either. It's just fun. I mean, the worst thing you can say about it is it's forgettable. It's really forgettable compared to the other films. It's the most forgettable film by the people involved in this group. It doesn't really jump out at you as a unique thing compared to something like MacGruber or Hot Rod, which felt much more sure of themselves and clear about what the jokes were. And this one, it feels as more committee based. It's like, feels like a lot of people were input to the film, and it never quite came out with a voice on its own, but it's still enjoyable. But Toriko and Sheva came back and actually co-directed Popstar, Never Stop Stopping, with Sam Burgers in the lead, where basically it's a send-up of all the new pop idols of the last decade, you know, the Justin Biebers, the Katy Perry, stuff like that. The kind of pop star that's always on social media, that's always got an opinion out there, who's always got these weird brand deals, and who speak as if, and you wonder what the hell they're actually talking about at all, because they just seem oblivious and not tied to the real world, at least from my opinion, you know. is very much like people are very insular community and have talked about a lot of yes men. So the Lonely Island got together and made a parody of this, where they have this character Connor, who he calls himself Connor for real as his name for his solo career. He started off in the Still Boys, which was this band with the other two members of Lonely Island. That was a big hit. It was well received. They made silly songs, really silly stuff, but everyone enjoyed them because they were just like three pals who made silly songs that people liked. You know, they were fluffy songs, but they were enjoyable. Everyone liked them. No one took them seriously, but people enjoyed the music because it was just a bit of silliness in a sea of pretension. Then they split up. Basically, Connor got too big for his boots. He got an ego because he was a front man. As it usually happens, they think they're better than everyone else because they're the one that's told they're better. One of them, played by Jorma, is the guy who writes the music side of it, and the other guy, played by Kiva, he is the guy who writes the lyrics. And Andy Samberg's character is the front man. So the front man decided he didn't need him anymore, but he keeps the guy to do the music first, and he'll write the lyrics himself. That was the first album that did well. Then the second album, the film starts when the second album is about to drop, and he's even rid of the guy doing the music, and he's put in all these different producers to create the world's greatest album, the greatest second album, the egotistical second album that suddenly becomes a mega bomb. And the film follows Connor on his tour as he tries to promote his album, as he gets more and more desperate for getting attention and getting some tour sales to keep his, because he realised the tour for his money basically, and he's trying to keep the album relevant. So you keep on seeing songs from the album throughout the film. Like you get one where it's we try to be socially aware, but keeps on explaining to everyone he's not gay, which is funny because it's just so oblivious and offensive. There's one about a girl who fancies obsessed by the murder of Bin Laden, so she wants to be fucked like America fucked Bin Laden. That's the song. Stuff like this, it's just insane. It's pretentious. It's weird. It's a perfect view of an insane second album with someone who's had too much success. And they just send it up mercilessly. And he ends up having this new rapper musician who's touring with him to be his opener, because this guy's on the rise and we're going to be sell more tickets. And this guy's very competitive and very, he's called Hungry something, and he's very manipulative as well. And Sandberg has all these hangers-ons who'll say anything he wants to hear. So it's lots of stuff you've seen before, but this is done really nice and really weird targets and really obscure comments and oddities and just bizarre behaviour. And of course the film's all about the convention of getting the band back together, the Still Boys back together. I mean, it's taking what's an obvious trope of the genre, like this guy needs to learn his lesson, be humble, go back to his friends, say sorry and find his mojo really. And they follow that convention, but they do a lot of weird stuff to get there. They're fun with he creates a engagement party for his girlfriend, who is also a social media person who's obsessed by being seen, and he ends up having Seal sing at this proposal. He's depressed he had to propose to his girlfriend. That's how insane he is. He has really weird stuff like bizarre costume changes in the middle of a concert that goes horribly wrong. He abuses his friend who did the music completely and ignores him. It just becomes this weird absurdity of the craziness of celebrity. It is pretty much the best music comedy of its type since Spinal Tap. It really is. It's like Spinal Tap's still a bit better, but this one's a good second place to Spinal Tap for crazy pop, parody. It's wonderful. I don't want to say much more because you just have to see it. It's so much fun. I don't want to throw away all those, give away all the jokes, but it's just really absurd and really weird, and it's very Lonely Island where they take certain things and get really specific but in really weird ways about certain things that are really absurd. It's like they're more interested in the weird character beats than they are in the overall plot. They know the plot's already predictable, so it gives them the freedom to go weird in certain little areas, certain little kinks of the story. Because a lot of films that have a conventional plot, they try and give you the plot almost like as genuine as possible, makes it very boring. Here, they're setting it up slightly, they're keeping to it, but they're tweaking it and they're going down weird avenues with it, and that's what makes it fresh, because they know, you know where it's going, but let's try and take you this way rather than that way, to make you think maybe it's going to go a different way, even if it's not, it still takes you in interesting directions. So, Lonely Island is a great team. They've done some great music videos and great songs. Their films are great fun. Sam Berg's on Brooklyn Nine-Nine at the moment, which is a fun little comedy show that my niece makes me watch all the time. Anytime I babysit her, I might end up seeing lots of these episodes again and again, the same episodes. But it's quite painless. But they're fun. The films are fun. Hopefully they'll make more. It's a nice little group. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll be back soon with another video.